Welcome back, Stoic warriors. Let me ask you something. Are you lying there right now, staring at the ceiling, wondering where it all went wrong? Because your mind, it's not calm. It's a battlefield, and every thought feels like shrapnel. Boom. Doubt. Boom. Procrastination. Boom. Guilt. They don't knock, they break in, dragging you deeper into that fog you keep pretending isn't there. You told yourself you'd change. You swore tomorrow would be different. But here's the truth. Tomorrow is a lie. It's not your friend. It's a seductive trap, a sugar-coated illusion dressed as hope but underneath. Rotten tomorrow never shows up. And you know that. You felt it in your bones. You wake up, over and over, to the same heavy feeling. In your chest, another day wasted, another dream shelved. You keep whispering to yourself, I'll do better tomorrow. But tomorrow is a ghost. It vanishes the moment you reach for it. And now that ache in your gut, that rising pressure in your lungs, that's not anxiety, that's truth. You're done pretending, done lying to yourself, done watching your life crawl past you like you're a bystander to your own existence. It's time, but not for a gentle transformation, not for a feel-good montage. This is war. Real change is brutal. It will rip you apart. It doesn't knock politely, it kicks the door down. It doesn't speak in affirmations, it screams. Change will scorch you. But what survives that fire? That's the real you. And this is where Stoicism enters. Stoicism isn't here to comfort you. It doesn't give out hugs and pep talks. It drags you to the mirror and says, look, face it. It's not your therapist. It's your drill sergeant. Marcus Aurelius, a man who ruled the most powerful empire on earth, didn't care for sugarcoating. He said, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. What does that mean? It means you're not powerless. You're not a victim. You are only as strong or as broken as the thoughts you obey. If your mind is undisciplined, your body becomes a prison. Your will collapses under the weight of excuses. And your life? It unravels. So today isn't about talking softly or selling you hope. We're talking about raw, ruthless self-discipline. The kind that makes your muscles shake. The kind that doesn't wait for motivation. The kind that doesn't ask how you feel. It just demands that you rise. This video is for the ones who are done playing small, done complaining, done waiting for someone else to fix things. This is for the ones who are ready to go to war with themselves. But remember what we said, this isn't comfort we're chasing. It's transformation. And that begins when you stop making excuses and start facing the truth, raw and unfiltered. Too many people carry greatness inside them, buried under layers of excuses and self-doubt. But let's be clear, you don't need more motivation. You don't need another inspirational quote or a feel-good playlist. What you need is transformation. A total reset. So stay with me. Don't skip ahead. Don't cheat yourself out of this moment. Because this is the point where the old you, the one clinging to comfort, gets burned away. And the real you, the version of you that's been waiting, aching to break free, that person starts to emerge. Like this video if you're ready. Drop a comment below. I am no longer a slave to my excuses. Share this with someone who's standing on the edge of change. And don't even think about leaving without subscribing, because we're about to destroy every limit that's been holding you back. Stay with me. This is war, and it's for your future. Now let's go. Number 1. Control your first hour. Your first hour isn't just a morning routine. It's a battle cry. The moment you wake up, the world is already clawing at you. You roll out of bed and reach for your phone. You think you're just checking messages. No, you're surrendering. You're letting chaos in before you've even had time to breathe. And that snooze button? It's not harmless. It's retreat. It's you begging for comfort when life demands conquest. The first hour is your line in the sand. This is when you choose. Are you a warrior or just another puppet pulled by strings? Discipline doesn't show up when your boss calls. It's not born during the meeting or at the gym. It's forged in the silence, in the stillness, when no one else sees you. You wake up and you fight. Not the world, yourself, because that's where the war begins. In your own mind. Marcus Aurelius didn't wait for a peaceful day. He knew darkness was coming, selfishness, betrayal, pressure, pain. But he faced it anyway. He walked through hell and never flinched. That's discipline. Not the absence of chaos, but the strength to walk straight into it and own it. So guard that first hour like it's sacred, because it is, and it's not for the weak. This isn't a soft morning meditation. This is a battlefield. It's you versus every instinct that begs you to delay, to numb, to distract. Start with breath. Start with stillness, and then face the ugliest truth of all. You weren't born to chase pleasure. You were born to master it, to crush weakness, to lead your life, not follow your cravings. If you can conquer that first hour, the rest of the day doesn't stand a chance. Own your morning, own your mind. And once you own your mind, nothing owns you. No phone. No comfort, only discipline. This is your proving ground. Not for anyone else, for you. So light a candle, not a screen. Stretch your body, not your feed. Read something with fire, not fluff. And then choose. Will you command that first hour, or will it command you? Drop a comment. I command the first hour of my life. Claim that battlefield, because once you've won that hour, the day can't touch you. The fight's already over. You've won. Number 2. Kill the voice that wants comfort, that little voice, the one that whispers, it's okay to sleep in, skip the gym. Relax today. It's not your friend. It's a parasite, feeding off every crack in your willpower. That voice, we talked about it, doesn't disappear quietly. It sinks its claws deep into your spirit, wrapping itself around your ambition like a snake. It slithers through your thoughts, whispering soft lies that feel like relief, but are actually chains. Its goal, to drag you back into the pit of comfort and keep you there. Epictetus once said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." And that voice? It's your prison. It's the cell, the chains, the lock. The most dangerous trap you will ever face isn't out there in the world. It's in your own head. It's the voice that convinces you that you've earned rest when you've barely begun. The voice that praises mediocrity as if it were progress. That says, you've done enough for today, when deep down you No, you haven't. But here's the truth. That voice isn't offering you rest because you deserve it. It's begging you to stop because it's terrified of who you're becoming. It knows that every step forward weakens its grip. And so it whispers, tomorrow. And you, if you're not careful, you listen. But not anymore. When that voice speaks, destroy it. When it says take it easy, you get up and grind harder. When it says rest, you move. When it says tomorrow, you roar. Now, picture it. That voice like a shadow, creeping, curling in the corners of your mind. Like a sickness that knows every weak spot in your armor. But every time you say no to it, every time you choose discomfort, every time you walk into the fire instead of backing away from it, you grow. And that voice, it dies. Just a little. Master yourself. Kill the voice. And know this. The greatest weapon you have isn't motivation. It's action. You are the commander, not the puppet. Every single time you choose the harder path, every single time you push when your mind screams stop, you reclaim power. Inches at first, then miles. And today, you take it all back. Number 3. Embrace the pain of growth. Let's be real, no one likes pain. No one wakes up hoping the day punches them in the mouth. But what if I told you pain isn't your enemy? It's your initiation. It's the gatekeeper. And the key to strength is suffering. Growth doesn't happen in the comfort zone. It happens in the fire. You've been running from discomfort, dodging the strain, avoiding the burn. And every time you do, you delay the strongest version of yourself. You've built a wall to protect your weaknesses. But that wall, it's a cage, a soft, padded cell of mediocrity. The truth is simple. You can't build muscle unless it tears. First, you can't grow stronger without breaking down what's weak inside you. Seneca said it clearly. No man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity. Why? Because without adversity, you stay soft, untested, unchanged. Growth demands pain. It demands that you step willingly into the furnace, that you allow the fire to strip you down so you can rebuild yourself stronger. When you lift weights, your muscles tear. When you run, your lungs burn, your legs scream. But in that agony, in that breakdown, you evolve. You become forged. Most people run from the burn. They back away from the ache, the grind, the friction. But not you. Not anymore. What if you stopped running? What if you leaned into the fire? Not with fear, but with resolve. Because here's the brutal truth. You've been hiding in comfort for far too long. You've wrapped yourself in routines, in safety, in every excuse you could find. But all it's done is make you weak. And the clock, it's ticking. Every second you waste in comfort pulls you further away from the man you're meant to become. Now comes the question, the one only you can answer. Will you keep hiding from the heat, afraid of the burn? Or will you finally step into the fire knowing that it's the only force powerful enough to mold you into something unbreakable? Pain isn't your enemy. It's your chisel. The very tool that carves you into a masterpiece. And once you embrace it, once you stop running from it and start welcoming it, everything changes. Because pain, it becomes purpose. Every ache, every sting, every broken moment, It's just another step closer to the power you've been searching for all along. And when you finally stop fearing it, when you step into it willingly, the world won't know what hit it. Number 4. Let go of the need for approval. Honest. You've been waiting, haven't you? Waiting for someone to validate you, to give you the green light, to say you're doing it right, you're enough. But here's the truth. No one's coming. No one cares as much as you think they do. Not your friends, not your family, not the world. They're all too busy trying to survive their own storms. And you've been chasing validation, scrolling endlessly, comparing yourself to curated lives posted for approval, waiting for a thumbs up to feel worthy, for a like to mean something. But that's the lie we're all drowning in, the addiction to applause, to being seen, to having your worth confirmed by strangers. But the Stoic path? It doesn't wait for applause. It demands solitude. It requires you to keep walking, especially when no one is watching, when they can't see your sweat, when they don't understand your sacrifice, when your grind is silent, thankless, invisible. Marcus Aurelius put it plainly. You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. What is he really saying? He's screaming this. Life doesn't wait for permission. It doesn't care how hard it's been. It owes you nothing, and neither does anyone else. That power you keep begging for. It's not out there. It's in you, buried deep, waiting to erupt. You'll feel it the moment you stop looking outward and start building your inner empire. Because when you let go of the desperate need for approval, you become free. Free to define success on your own terms. Free to take action without applause. Free to stop measuring your life by their reactions. This journey, it belongs to you. Only you. And here's the brutal truth. The world will never truly understand your fire. They won't feel that burning hunger in your chest. They can't walk your path. But once you stop needing their permission, you awaken. You reclaim your worth. You become unstoppable. Because finally, you are the only judge of your value. Number 5. Embrace the stillness of the mind noise. It's everywhere, isn't it? But the worst of it, it's not outside. It's inside you. It's in your pocket, in your thoughts, in every stolen moment of distraction you've allowed to infect your life. You've become addicted to the chaos, entertained but empty, stimulated but numb. And now, you're drowning in it. Not just reacting to the noise, but becoming it. You've forgotten how to be still. This constant distraction, it's a virus. It poisons your clarity. It strips away your ability to think, to feel, to simply exist. Your mind is supposed to be a weapon, sharp and disciplined. Instead, it's a battlefield of craving and confusion. Every distraction pulls you further from who you were meant to become. Without clarity, there is no discipline. Without silence, there is no space for strength to grow. True wealth isn't in what you own. It's in what you don't need. Epictetus said, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. But the world doesn't want you to believe that. It wants to drown your mind in clutter, to convince you that happiness is just one more scroll away, one more click, one more dopamine hit. But here's the truth. The more you consume, the emptier you become. Every second you spend chasing likes, checking your phone, distracting yourself with noise, it's a second stolen from your true power. But what if you didn't need to consume anymore? What if you didn't need to check your phone every 5 seconds, desperate for something, anything to fill the silence? What if you could just sit and be still, really still, still enough to hear the voice inside you, the one that's been drowned out by noise for far too long? This is where your power lies, not in noise, in stillness. In that brutal, raw, quiet moment when the world fades and the only thing left is you. That's where your strength begins to rise. The world will scream at you, beg you to come back to the madness. But when you choose silence, you unlock something ancient, something primal. In silence, you don't hear weakness, you hear command. You don't hear chaos, you hear clarity. Because in stillness your voice becomes thunder, your true self emerges, and that voice, it doesn't beg, it commands. It tells you to rise, to cut through the noise like a blade through flesh, to become everything you were always meant to be. So meditate, not to feel good, but to face the fire, to sit in the heat of your own silence, to forge peace, not find it. Because peace won't show up on its own. The world will never quiet down for you. That's a lie. But you can carve out silence from the storm. You can choose to hear the only voice that matters, yours. And once you do, you'll move with a kind of power that shatters silence, the kind of power that doesn't need to scream, because it already owns the room. Number 6. Embrace your responsibility. Let's get painfully honest. You are where you are because of you, not because of fate, not because of bad luck, not because the universe is unfair. It's your choices. That's the truth, and yes, it's brutal. It's easy to point fingers, to blame your circumstances, to convince yourself the system, the people, the job, the past is what's holding you back. But that's the illusion, and I'm here to break it. Seneca said, "It's not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." Sit with that. Every second you spend blaming others, every moment you justify inaction, every breath wasted on excuses, that is your life fading. You want change. You want growth? It will never come from out there. It won't come from someone handing you your dream life on a platter, because no one's coming to save you. No one can. Real change starts with you. And here's the cold, hard truth. The world doesn't owe you a damn thing. Not a second. Not a single break. Not a round of applause. If you want a different life, you have to create it. And that creation starts with one word: ownership. Own your decisions. Own your wins. Own your losses. Own every single moment that brought you here. Because when you finally take full responsibility, you stop being a spectator. You stop waiting for a savior. You stop waiting for life to get easier. You stop waiting, period. The world will not give you anything. But you can build. Brick by brick, decision by decision. You can rise, build your empire brick by owning it. So ask yourself right now, what are you willing to take responsibility for today? What area of your life have you been avoiding, blaming, delaying? Because the difference between where you are and where you want to be, it's not about what the world gives you. It's about what you're willing to claim. And that claim starts with ownership, not tomorrow. Now, you want discipline, you want strength, then take responsibility for every thought, every action, every setback, every breakthrough. Because the road to greatness, it isn't paved with excuses. It's carved with your own hands, your own pain, your own courage to say, "This is mine. I own all of it. No more waiting. No more justifying. Take full responsibility and watch your life transform from the inside out." Number 7. Master the art of consistency. Let's talk about one of the deadliest killers of progress, inconsistency. It doesn't scream. It doesn't crash in like failure. It whispers, quietly, gently, convincingly. It tells you, tomorrow will be better. You'll start fresh next week. But what it really gives you is another missed opportunity, another wasted moment. How many times have you started something with fire, with adrenaline pulsing in your veins? You made the promise, this time is different. And then what? The spark faded, the intensity died. The passion crumbled under pressure, leaving behind nothing but the ashes of regret. You felt that motivation, that thrilling rush when you're ready to take on the world. But just like a wave, it crests and crashes, and then you're left with the aftermath, quiet, empty, directionless, because here's the truth. Motivation is a liar. It's fleeting. It abandons you when you need it most. What separates warriors from wishful thinkers is not passion, not talent, not motivation. It's consistency. That quiet, brutal, unrelenting force that pushes you to show up day after day, even when you're tired, even when you're broken, even when you feel like the world is collapsing. Consistency doesn't care how you feel. It doesn't wait for perfect conditions. It doesn't pause for applause or recognition. It demands you show up, even in silence, even when nobody's watching, even when the reward seems invisible. Because every action you take today, no matter how small, echoes into your future. It shapes the person you are becoming. Marcus Aurelius lived with this awareness. He knew what we do in life echoes in eternity. Every decision, every hour, every tiny moment of effort, it mattered. It was his legacy. And it can be yours too. If you understand this, truly understand it, you'll never let another day pass without showing up. Because every small, consistent action builds, brick by brick, until one day you look around and realize you've created something massive, unstoppable. Momentum is the key. Momentum is the beast that carries you forward when motivation is gone, when the grind is too heavy, when your body begs for rest and your mind whispers give up. Momentum is what keeps you moving when everything in you screams stop. Here's the truth no one wants to say out loud. It's not about one big heroic effort. It's about showing up every single day, even when it hurts, even when you don't want to. There will be days when quitting seems easier, when the excuses feel louder than your discipline, when doubt gnaws at your confidence like rust. But the question is, will you show up anyway? Will you defy your excuses? Will you rise above your comfort? Will you be stronger than your laziness? Because that is the real test. And here's the deal. Your future, your discipline, your entire life hinges on how you answer that test. Mastering consistency isn't about perfection. It's about relentless commitment. It's the quiet, invisible promise you make to yourself. I will show up again and again, no matter what. You commit, you act, you repeat. And it's in that repetition, that daily grind, day after day, that you begin to build something unstoppable. Something powerful, something legendary. You've always dreamed of power, not the kind that explodes in flashes of glory or lives in rare bursts of adrenaline, but the kind that's built silently, relentlessly, daily. Because real power doesn't lie in grand gestures. It lives in the quiet decisions, the moments when no one's watching, when you show up even when you don't feel like it, when you move forward, especially when everything inside you begs you to stop. That's where strength is forged. That's where you become unstoppable. Master consistency and you master your future. Nothing, and I mean nothing, will stand in your way. Number 8. Confront the fear of failure. Let's talk about the beast. The one that lives in your head, that slithers through your thoughts, gnashing its teeth, whispering lies that freeze you in place. Fear. Fear isn't just a feeling, it's a predator. It tells you that if you try, you'll lose. That if you move, you'll fall. That everything you've built will collapse. It wraps itself around your ambition. It poisons your mind before you've even taken the first step. It doesn't just ask, "What if you fail?" It screams, "What if you lose everything?" But here's the brutal truth. Failure is not your enemy. It's your gateway, the very thing you fear. That's where the power lives. Because fear, it's an illusion, a shadow, a test. Marcus Aurelius didn't write philosophy for scholars. He wrote war cries for warriors. He said, "The impediment to action advances action." In other words, the obstacle in your path, it's not blocking you, it is the path. That fear, it's not the end, it's the beginning. It's the fuel, the scalpel that cuts away your weakness, that reveals the raw truth, that wakes you up. Failure is the slap to your soul that says, "Wake up, show up, burn the excuses." It's not punishment. It's a gift you've been too scared to unwrap. And when you finally stop running, when you stop hiding from that fire, that's when the transformation begins. You don't need to fear failure. You need to use it. Because those who rise to greatness, they don't avoid the flames. They walk straight in. They breathe the heat. They let the pain refine them. They take that chaos, that collapse, that dread, and they twist it into momentum. They understand this. Failure is the doorway to power. And the moment you stop fearing it, you begin to live without limits. Think about it. When you no longer fear failure, you stop hesitating. You stop playing defense. You start building relentlessly, aggressively, unapologetically. Failure is not the end of your story. It's just the first chapter of a whole new book. So don't run from the fire. Walk into it. Let it consume the weakness. And watch what's left standing. Because the second you stop asking, "What if I fail?" and start saying, "What if I don't try?" That's the second you become unbreakable. You've just heard the 8 Stoic laws that will force you to become unstoppable. But don't get it twisted. Hearing them means nothing. Understanding them, still nothing. Living them, that's where it starts. This is not a motivational speech. This is a call to arms. You already have the power, the fire, the tools. But until you act, they're just ideas, and ideas don't build empires. This isn't a game. This is your life, and it's screaming for you to stop playing small, to stop hiding in the shadows, to step boldly into the blinding light of your potential. You were not born to blend in. You were not made to be average. You were not built to be comfortable. You were born for greatness. And if you're not fighting for it, you're letting it die. So don't just watch this. Don't just nod along. Live it. Breathe it. Bleed it. This isn't a maybe tomorrow message. This is a now or never wake-up call. Like this video if you felt the fire. Drop a comment below. I am the architect of my destiny. Share this with someone who's sick of playing small. Someone who needs to remember who they really are. And most importantly, subscribe to the Stoic Capsule channel. Because your journey toward unstoppable discipline, unshakable strength, and real freedom begins right now. The clock is ticking. The world is watching. And the only thing standing between you and legendary greatness is one word. Action. It's time. Step into it.